How's it going, troops? Jordan here, back again with another Black Ops Cold War loadout video. We're going to be going on a secret spy mission today as we become the man with the 3-digit number, James Bond. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and let's jump right in. With this James Bond loadout, we're going to be role playing as 007, and we're going to be basing this setup off the film From Russia with Love, as the theme around that particular Bond movie is the Cold War, and how Spectre is trying to influence both the Americans and the Russians throughout it. Because we're basing this setup off this Bond movie, our playstyle for this loadout is going to be roleplay, and given our limited weaponry and fun spy equipment with this class setup, I've labelled today's loadout difficulty as hard. Starting off with our primary weapon, we're going to choose the 1911. The Walther PPK is James Bond's personal favourite pistol in the movie From Russia with Love. It's a small compact German pistol and is deadly in the hands of 007. Unfortunately, we don't have the Walther PPK in Cold War, so we'll have to make do with another semi-automatic pistol. There's not a lot of options for us to choose from, so we're just going to go with the 1911. But as you've probably noticed already, the 1911 is a secondary weapon, so we'll have to select the Lawbreaker wildcard in order to make this our primary weapon. We're not going to go completely bare bones with this pistol, so let's equip ourselves with a few attachment choices. Our first attachment is going to be the Agency Suppressor. Although in the movie James Bond doesn't equip a suppressor onto his pistol, we're going to go with a suppressor just to give us that spy feel. And the suppressor we're going for is the Agency Suppressor, since 007 is a spy agent. Our next attachment is going to be the 5.42-inch Cavalry Lancer. This barrel slightly shortens the standard 1911 barrel, which helps to make it look closer to the Walther PPK. And finally, for our third attachment, we're going to go with the Fast Mag. Since the Walther is a personal favourite of Mr. Bond, it makes sense that he would know how to change the magazine of the pistol very quickly. Plus the magazine of the PPK sticks out a bit, so we can choose the Fast Mag in Cold War to mimic this. So now that we've discussed our primary weapon configuration, it's time to move on to our secondary weapon of choice for this loadout. For our secondary weapon, we're going to choose the Pellington 703. This weapon might come as a surprise to you, because I'm guessing you're thinking right now, where does a sniper fit in with a James Bond loadout? Well, in From Russia with Love, Bond has a modified AR-7 sniper hidden in his briefcase that he manually pieces together. This AR-7 sniper was then used by Bond and Karim to assassinate Krylenko, and to also take out a helicopter pilot later in the film. The only thing that comes close to this AR-7 sniper is the Pellington, so we're going to make do with this sniper and equip some attachments to get it to look as close as to the one in the movie. We could go with this as our primary weapon and swap our pistol in the secondary slot, therefore saving us from using Lawbreaker. But as Bond uses his sidearm as his main weapon, that's why we're going to keep the Pellington as our secondary. Taking a look now at our secondary attachments, starting with our first attachment, we're going to choose the AN PVS-4 thermal scope. An infrared night vision scope is seen attached onto the AR-7 sniper, so we'll go with the thermal scope, which is the closest thing to it. Our next attachment is going to be the sound moderator. The AR-7 sniper was also kitted with a slimline suppressor, so we'll go with a basic suppressor ourselves for our Pellington. For our third attachment, we're going to select the 23.3-inch Cavalry Lancer. And much like with our 1911, we're going to choose the Cavalry Lancer to give us that shortened barrel look the AR-7 has in the movie. For our fourth attachment, we're going to choose the Fast Reloader. In the film, James is seen manually inserting a bullet into the AR-7 sniper, which means no magazines are available for it. We can replicate this in-game by selecting the Fast Reloader in the magazine section, which makes us insert our bullets manually into the Pellington, with the added bonus of reloading quickly, of course. And finally, for our fifth attachment, we're going to go with the CQB pad. The CQB stock decreases our sprint to fire time, meaning we can get our shot in on target a lot sooner, saving us a fraction of a second from being taken out by one of 007's foes. So that's why the CQB pad will be our final attachment. So now that we've discussed our primary and secondary weapon configurations, it's time to move on to our wildcard and perk setup. Taking advantage of the Lawbreaker wildcard, for our first perk, we're going to choose Engineer from Tier 1. Anytime Bond settles into his hotel room, he surveys the area looking for any hidden tape recorders or rigged devices planted in his room. The Engineer perk highlights enemy equipment through walls and buildings, so we'll go with Engineer to reference this. And for our last two perks, we're going to select both Ghost and Ninja from Tier 3. 007 is constantly on the move to stay one step ahead of the bad guys tracking him down, so we can go with the Ghost perk for this reason. And lastly with Ninja, in one scene James Bond is sneaking around the St. Sophia Mosque, so we can collect an important note to lead him to the Lector, so we can reference this scene by equipping Ninja as our final perk. Moving on now to our equipment and field upgrade. For our lethal equipment, we're going to choose the Tomahawk. During the Gypsy scenes, the Russians launched an attack on the Gypsy village, where Bond and Karim were planning to stay for the night. In these scenes, we see James Bond throw those small pocket knives at the bad guys, so we'll go with the Tomahawk for this. As for our tactical equipment, we're going to go with a smoke grenade. Another piece of equipment hidden away in 007's suitcase was a tear gas canister, so we can go with a smoke grenade to reference this. And lastly, for our field upgrade, we're choosing the assault pack. The assault pack can act like 007's suitcase, which in-game stores ammo and grenades for us to refill, so we'll go with the assault pack for this reason. So now that we've talked about our equipment and field upgrade, it's time to finish off this loadout with our Scorestreak selection. For our James Bond loadout, we're going to select no score streaks. We could go with the likes of the Napalm Strike, to reference that boat scene with the oil catching fire on the water, or we could go with the attack helicopter, to reference those Russians chasing Bond down in that helicopter. But as we're going with a more authentic spy loadout, 007 only needs his trusty Walther to get the job done. So troops, that wraps up my James Bond loadout video for Black Ops Cold War. Next time you boot up Cold War multiplayer, definitely give this class setup a try in game and send the enemy your regards from Russia with love. If you did enjoy this loadout video, then give the video a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it a lot. And make sure to subscribe for more loadouts like this one, and also hit that bell notification icon next to it, so that way you're always notified as to when I make an upload. If you have any friends who might be interested in this sort of content, then share the video around with them to help give my loadout videos and my channel more widespread exposure. And if you want to see behind the scenes previews on my loadout videos, you can follow me on Twitter at jordanxbrookes for all the latest on there. So until next video, I thank you all for watching, stay true to me troops, and I'll see you in game.